Would it be appropriate to ask some of the questions that she put for collective with that Pleiadian higher self right now?
Absolutely. I could probably give some insights to her questions.
So one of her questions is, how can those of us who are highly sensitive to the intense collective energies best manage our energy?
Yes, this is a good question because there are many of you experiencing this right now.
Yes.
So some of these answers are going to be information that you already know, but maybe have forgotten, and other answers will be new. So some of the things that you already know of is, of course, getting out in nature, getting as close to Mother Earth as possible in what you call earthing. So standing on the earth barefoot, touching the dirt, touching the grass, touching the tree. Absorb some of that energy, because that will bring that energy into your, not only energy field, but into your physical body as well. And the more of that natural energy you bring into you, the more grounded you then feel, and the more relaxed you will feel. And when you're more relaxed and connected with Mother Earth, the less of the lower density vibrations can get through to you. They'll simply move past you and transmute through you. Much of you think that you need to feel tired as being a transmuter, and Angie, of course, is one of those. But you can transmute in a much easier way. And one of those, of course, as we just spoke, is being with nature more. But also water. Remember, water is very, very conductive. So as you're transmuting the energy for the collective, which, by the way, we all very much appreciate, there are a lot of you on this earth right now that are transmuters, and we're very grateful for the work that you do. And you're doing much more work than you are even aware. So just as an aside, we thank you for that. But we want to remind you that it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be exhausting like you feel that it does. So you can use water as a huge energy transmuter. Intentionally set your mind to releasing all of the energies into the water. You can do this anytime with water. You can do this while you're having a shower or a bath. You can do this while you're swimming in water. You can do this while you're gazing into water. You can do this while your feet are dangling in a pool, or preferably natural body of water, like an ocean or a river or a lake. Anything where you're near water, simply intentionally think the thoughts of releasing everything that is not serving you, all of the heavy energies that you might be feeling. Just let them go into that water. Let them go with the intention that the earth knows how to process them and will transmute them for you. So in that way, all you're doing is allowing the energies to transfer from the collective through you to Mother Earth. You don't have to be the one to transmute them yourself. You're simply a conduit to help release them into Mother Earth. And in that way, you'll feel much, much lighter. It doesn't have to be so hard, and it doesn't have to be so exhausting like you think it does.
Yes. Thank you. I will try some of that advice myself for sure. And her other question was, what changes can we expect from the current shift we're in?
That's a very big question. We did already acknowledge some of them. You will notice in the next months and years coming ahead that there will be many new advancements. There's going to be a lot of things that will close, a lot of things that are in your current earth, for example, businesses and ways of being, ways of living, foods that you eat, that will cease to exist in a few years, even just as short a time as a few years. But there will also then be a lot of new businesses opening up with higher vibrational intentions, higher vibrational purposes, new technologies coming out to help you. You'll find there's better and easier ways to travel, much quicker ways to travel that don't harm the earth with so much fuel burning. All of these sorts of things are going to start evolving out of your human collective desire for new, better ways. Everything that you're experiencing right now on your earth is showing you as a collective human energy that there are better ways. You're watching now as you've all retreated into your homes how nature is starting to flourish again. How water and trees and energies and skies and mountains, all of your areas that you love so much, but yet have abused so much, are now flourishing and are cleaner. Even your animals are coming out of hiding and they're walking down your streets.
Yes.
And this is going to start happening more and more as humanity recognizes that they are abusing the earth, and they start to awaken to the fact that they want their earth to be the beautiful place that it's becoming. They will start creating new technologies to help the animals, new technologies to help the sky and the mountains and the waters stay clear. Your earth will never ever be the same as it was even just months ago. And this some feel sad about right now, thinking we will never have what we had before. But yet if they only knew, it's only going to get better and better and better. You're making your earth the earth that it was intended to be. And now as you're seeing how humanity has, this is going to sound like a harsh word, but has trashed the earth, some in awareness and some in complete unawareness. But now as you're all becoming more aware, as you're witnessing how the earth is transforming as you're stepping out of the way, many, many more will start to change their habits, their actions, and the things that they do in order to love Mother Earth more. They will start seeing Earth as a living, breathing being, and they will start to respect the Earth rather than taking energy from her. They will start giving energy to her. So you'll see your earth in a whole new way. You're going to even see more colors, much like we just spoke about that we experience in the Pleiades. You'll start seeing more colors on your earth, more vibrancy, as the energies on your earth become less and less dense. You're going to have more lightness, more vibrancy. You're going to start seeing new animals come through, new plants, new flowers, new colors that you've never seen before. The earth is going to evolve in transformative ways. You're going to look back just a few years from now and go, wow, how did we ever live in that earth we were on before? How did we ever survive? It's going to be so different that you won't even recognize the place you used to live. It's going to be transformed completely into a whole new, colorful, bright, free, and clean world. Now be aware that this is going to take many, many years, but you will start to see it happening in short amounts of time. The changes are already happening. It's only going to get larger and larger.
Really exciting times for us. Looking forward to see what's going to happen for sure. Now, Angie had a question. So she and her partner, Rob, are very drawn to the mountains, and they feel like they're doing some great work when they're in them. Can you tell her more about this deep connection to the mountains, and if there's anything more they can do to assist the planet at this time with the grid work?
Yes. So they are very connected to the mountains for many, many reasons. On other planets they have lived on, they have connected with the mountains there. So it's very much like a home energy to them. The mountains where they live now, part of their mission is to work with those mountains, and they're going to, in the next, we'll say, couple of years. Again, timing, it's always hard for us that don't live so much in a world of time to express time to you that live in a world of time.
Yes.
Time can change. This shift that your planet is going through was predicted, but it was not necessarily predicted in the year that is happening. It was all up in the air depending on what humanity was doing. So it's never easy to say in a year from now or a month from now, because things can change depending on how you as a collective human race change. And you're moving quicker than, quite honestly, a lot of us that have been sort of on the outskirts assisting and waiting and watching. We're observing that your human collective race is evolving quicker than we had thought would happen. So when we say a couple of years, please don't hold us to that, because it could be less time, it could be more time, depending on many factors that we, as bystanders to your planet, can't really control. But from the trajectory that we see now, we see that it will only be a short few years that Robert and Angie will start bringing in more information from the mountains. There will be, we don't want to give too much away because we like for it to be surprises for them. But there will be knowledge that they will find within their, what they class as their sacred mountains, as they are. And they will bring this forth, and this will help humanity in a much larger way. But yes, they are definitely doing grid work when they are in the mountains, and much like you yourself are a gatekeeper of the places where you hold right now, Rob and Angie are gatekeepers for their mountains. They lovingly call the mountains their mountains, and while it's not true that it's their mountains, because they are truly everybody's mountains, but they very much feel like it's their mountains in terms of a loving child that they connect with. So they deeply, deeply connect with these sacred energy spaces, and they will find more reasons in the coming times as to reasons why they connect so deeply in the energy that they feel from these mountains.
And is there a connection between the area where I am at, which is near Mount Shasta, with the area where there's Mount Rainier in Seattle, and the area Angie and Rob are in, and also the Vancouver area in terms of grid work and what we're all doing in terms of connecting those points?
Yes, absolutely. If we were to look at all of these on a map and draw a line, you might notice there's some interesting connections that you hadn't realized before. So we invite you to pull out a map and draw a line between all of these areas and see what comes up. Again,
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of those lines are not on the maps right now, if you were to pull it off the internet.
Yes, correct. But yes, they are all connected, and you are all, of course, connected yourselves, and you're doing much, much work in each of your own areas, but then eventually that's all going to connect. Much like puzzle pieces, you're each putting your own puzzle pieces in. And soon all of those puzzle pieces are going to come together and connect with each other to make a much larger image and a much larger connection for all of you involved.
And what I want to ask about another question Angie had, which is how can we as starseeds, light workers, and healers best serve or assist humanity and the earth during this shift of ascension?
So some of that we've already spoken about.
Yes, yes.
Yes, and that is, of course, what you eat. Because when you assist yourself, then you're also assisting humanity. It's much like how you speak on your earth, the analogy you like to use about putting your own mask on first before assisting others. If you're in high vibration, you're naturally assisting others simply by just existing. So the higher vibration you can be in, the better and more effectively you're assisting others. So by eating well, by resting well, by connecting with nature, again, as transmuters, releasing the energy that you're just simply meant to be a conduit for. When you're doing all of those things, you're then assisting yourself, and then you can naturally assist others. And when you're in high vibration, your actions are high vibrational. Your words are high vibrational. And soon you'll become very aware of how your energy is all connected to everything. Some of you are already aware of this, but more and more will become aware of how your energy ripples out. So when your energy is high vibrational, you ripple out high vibration energy everywhere you go. So it doesn't even have to be anything specific that you say or do to another. It's simply by remaining in a high vibration yourself that will then ripple out to people that you don't even know, not even those that you've listed, but there are many more that you're not even aware of or aware that you're even connected to. It could be somebody on the other side of the planet. But yet by having a high vibration, that ripples out to every single energy being out there.
Yes.
That is the most important way, is by taking the best care of yourself.
Yes, I totally agree with that. And do you have any messages of encouragement for light workers, starseeds at this time to continue doing what they're supposed to be doing in their missions?
Yes, that's a very lovely question. First, before we give any messages, we would just like to say a big thank you. Again, when you understand that we are all connected, we are all one, it doesn't matter if you're on a star system like the Pleiades, or if you're on planet Earth, or any other galaxy star system in the universe. We are all connected and we are all here for the same mission, the same purpose. But looking at your planet compared to ours, we just give you encouragement to remember who you are. As each of you remembers your eternal connection to the one source, you help everyone else do the same. So again, much like the previous question, simply by just existing in your highest being, your highest knowing, your highest energy, you're assisting others to do the same. So we simply encourage you, much against what your planet kind of goes with, is we encourage you to put yourself first. And of course, not in a what you would call a human selfish way, but in a very high standard. The more you take care of yourself, the more you value yourself, the more you respect yourself, the more you eat clean, the more you rest when you need to, instead of rushing off here and there thinking, oh, I have to meet this person, I committed to meeting them today, I have to stick with it. If you would honor yourself, and if yourself says, no, today I need to rest, not go out, that's what we're speaking of by taking care of yourself in the highest way. When you do that, you assist everybody around you in the highest way. Sure, you might be offending their human self by not honoring your meeting with them, but the soul connection is much more important. And by caring for the self, you care for every other self, because every other self is connected to you. So we also invite you, as a way of encouragement, to not take things so seriously. Because your earth is a very dense place right now, although it is evolving with every moment, every hour that we speak upon, you are evolving more and more on your planet. But still, you take things very seriously on this planet. You have very little fun compared to what we do, for example, on the Pleiades. Everything we do is joy. We don't do anything if we don't want to. We don't do anything that feels like work. Each of us is in a position, going back, for example, to the ship that we're on. Every room in the ship, each person that works in that room, it's not really work. We all love what we do. And if we're not enjoying what we do anymore, we get training to go work somewhere else. And we invite you to do the same thing. There are so many on your earth that are in jobs that they hate, that are in relationships that aren't serving them, that are in homes that they don't like, or in cities that they don't resonate with. We simply ask you to do what brings you joy. Instead of torturing yourself by thinking, I have to do this, do something that you want to do. Do something that uplifts you and brings you happiness. So we invite you to have more fun, because that will help you to enjoy life and not make it so heavy. By the question asking for encouragement, that tells us that a lot of you are struggling. A lot of you are challenged right now. And we know that's part of it is your learning, and part of it is experience that you must go through. But it doesn't have to be as hard as you make it. And we don't say these words out of judgment or criticism. We understand that your planet is very different from ours, and for its own reasons. But we just invite you to make things lighter, make things more fun, do things you enjoy doing. We also remind you that all the things you're doing for good have much more of an impact than you may know. Many times you feel discouraged because you think, oh, I haven't touched any lives, I haven't really helped anybody. But if you understood those ripple effects we spoke of earlier, you would know that every good deed, every kind word, every action that is unseen or that you think is unseen has a deep, high impact for every single being, not only on your planet, but every planet. Once again, when you remember the connection, we are all part of the source energy. And when you give out any sort of energy of love, of kindness, of generosity, that ripple effect goes much beyond what you could ever imagine. So know that every kind deed that you do, whether you think it's noticed or not, is making a tremendous impact on not only the humans on your earth, but on the beings in the entire universe. Remember how deeply connected you are, and what you do for another, you do for yourself, and what you do for yourself, you do for another.
Thank you. That was a really beautiful message for all of us. Are there any more messages for Angie or for the collective or any other beings that want to come through and speak through Angie right now before we move to talking to her higher self?
Again, we would just like to remind you that you are doing more wonderful work than you may think you are. Your planet is in much better shape than you think it is. Some of you feel very hopeless right now. Some of you feel very discouraged right now. Some of you may have lost your jobs, lost your homes, lost your loved ones even. And you feel like life, like God, like Source, whatever you wish to call it, is punishing you for something you may have done wrong. And we just want to remind you that there is never, ever punishment. There is only love for you in the universe. So anytime that you feel sad, you feel low, you feel hopeless, you feel completely alone, know that it's those times that we and many, many other beings are standing right beside you. If you simply open up your energy, often when you're in that low, sad energy, you close yourself off and you say, but yet we are all around you, and you say, but we can't feel you. And it's not that you can't feel us because we're not there. You can't feel us because you've closed your energy. So we invite you in those moments when you feel your lowest to open up. It doesn't mean you have to instantly feel happy or enlightened. Just simply open your energy just a little bit even. And that will allow us to tap into you, to give you some encouragement, some love, some peace, even some joy. Just know that you have much more support, guidance, help, and assistance from many, many beings around the entire universe right now. You have a whole crowd cheering you on. We are all so excited to watch the transformations that your planet is going through right now. And we are all here to assist you in any way that we can. So if you're feeling challenged, if you're feeling low, simply call out for help. There are many, many light beings here to help you.